Gentlemen, this next bout is scheduled for 4 rounds, and it's in the junior welterweight division. Referee is Arthur Mercanti Jr. Introducing first in the blue corner, wearing the white trunks with the red trim. He weighed in at an even 140 pounds. This fella has 5 wins, 2 losses, with 1 knockout. From Catskill, New York. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Alton Gray. And his opponent in the red corner, wearing the red trunks with the white trim. He tipped in at an even 142 pounds. Professionally, he has 8 wins, 6 losses with 5 knockouts. A native of Honduras, and now residing in the Bronx, New York. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the Bronx Bull, Jose Avila.
Good evening, gentlemen. You both know the rules of the New York State Athletic Commission. I'm here to enforce them. You are here to obey them. Let's have a nice, clean fight. Touch gloves. Good luck to the both.
Talk about good training. That gentleman in the ring, Arthur Mercanti Jr., son of the legendary referee. And this young man is a comer himself. When you talk about champion referees, you speak of the likes of Mercanti and Ruby Goldstein through the years. This young man, a lot of people think he's going to be top of the heap before long.
I agree with it. He comes from good bloodlines, but he does the job in the ring too. You can come from good bloodlines and not do the job. He's a good referee.
Avila on the left in the red trunks, and Alton Gray now on the left of your screen in the white trunks. Gray 5-2, 1 knockout. Avila has had 14 pro fights, 5 knockouts. He's won 8. He's been beaten 6 times.
Avila is a good puncher. He's a pretty good puncher. He's a hot and cold sort of a guy, and he's definitely the most experienced guy in this bout right here, because he's gone 10 rounds. He's in a 4-round fight, but he's already gone 10 rounds with a decent 10-round fighter, Donnie Allison. He fought Donnie Allison twice. First time 8 rounds, had Allison down twice before losing the fight, and then went 10 rounds with him for the New York State welterweight title. So he's a guy that's definitely the more experienced of the two.
We had that fight for you right here last year here on Friday night at the fights. It was a good one.
It's a little unusual sometimes to find a guy that's gone 10 rounds in a 4-round fight, but that shows you that his career hasn't always been on track. That kind of indicates his being hot and cold. A guy that has to sort of fight whatever's available, because he doesn't have a sparkling record and he doesn't have the privilege of choosing his spots. That's been taken away by losses. Gray, of course, like we said earlier, was found in the Green Correctional Facility. He was serving 4.5 years. Kevin Rooney was a boxing instructor up there. He worked with him there, and then when he got released, he continued training him and turned to pro. He tries to fight with the peekaboo style, Alton Gray does, with his hands high, a la Tyson, like all Kevin Rooney's fighters do. Tries to slip punches, of course, create openings.
Goes to Customato Boxing Academy, Catskill, New York, and the man who kind of invented that peekaboo style was the former heavyweight champ himself, Floyd Patterson.
Yeah, Floyd was the first one that gave it recognition, and then Jose Torres came along when he won the light heavyweight title from Willie Pastrana and gave it a little bit more recognition. And of course, Mike Tyson is the one who really made it a name that was understood, almost household name. Because Tyson got a lot more media attention than Patterson and Jose Torres, of course.
Go ahead, break.
First round of a scheduled 4-rounder.
You know, this is an example where almost the experience can work against you. What I mean by that is Avila is so patient. He's so used to longer fights sometimes, 10 rounds, 8 rounds, that he's taking his time. But you know what? It's only 4 rounds. And by taking his time, before you know it, he's going to be out of time. And he could get out-hustled by Gray.
With a scheduled 4-rounder. Avila in the red trunks, Gray in the white. When you're as experienced a fighter as Avila is, as you were mentioning in the first round, sometimes it can be a detriment because your opponent doesn't do the kind of things you expect your opponent to do based on the kind of opponents you've had.
That's part of it. You're used to, when you're at a higher level, you're used to guys doing conventional things. If they do awkward things or rough things, crude things, it's not what you're used to seeing.
Oh, right through the ropes goes Avila.
Quick thinking on a couple of officials in the New York State Commission here at ringside. They saved him from falling back and possibly getting hurt.
About 3 feet from us. I don't know if we would have thought that quickly, Teddy, but they did.
But more importantly, it's a funny thing, like I said the first round. This is where experience should be an advantage, and it could be a disadvantage if Gray out-hustles him and gets out of there before the guy can get started. Avila might need 3 or 4 rounds to get started. Gray can out-hustle him. It's almost close to an amateur fight because 4 rounds is only 1 round more. And an experienced guy is deliberate, and you can use that against him in a 4-round fight because what he's looking for is shots, and that's a very good thing in a long fight. In a short fight, you can get out-hustled that way.
Set the man up in a 10-rounder and set him up for what you're going to do later in the fight. In a 4-rounder, there's very little later. Everything comes very soon.
That's right. Just like an amateur making the transition to the pros could be used to the 3-round fights, and when he has to go 8 rounds, it can be where he's fast-paced. He's too fast-paced early, and the guys who are settled down start coming on later. He may win the early rounds, but in the later round, the guy, by being deliberate, will come on. Where he wouldn't have been successful in an amateur fight, but in a pro fight, he comes on later. He has time to think, time to plan things, and he can take advantage of an amateur who wilts out, who starts fast, who's geared for 3 rounds. They're both trying to establish jabs here. They're not real consistent with it, though.
Not very much power on the jabs on both sides.
Alton Gray has just switched southpaw. He switched back again. He's southpaw again. He almost did that time without even thinking about it. It makes you wonder if he's a converted southpaw. Because it's not like he did it deliberately. He just did it automatically, out of habit almost. He may be a converted southpaw. He countered with that jab nice. Avila missed the jab. He countered with it.
Stuck it nicely.
Actually, right now it's a battle of jabs. That experience, Avila's going in the body. The only thing is, he's got to remember, he's only got 2 more rounds. Usually body punching pays off as the rounds go on.
In big
Junior welterweights. The action in the 2nd round. A flurry right here by Avila in the red trunks. Some good body punch.
Yeah, that was good body work. Both sides, if you notice, he rotated. He went to the right side, then he rotated right over with his shoulders to the left side. That's what you're supposed to do, work both sides, not be satisfied with just 1 punch if you go in 2. That's the sign of experience.
Talked about the efficiency of Arthur Mercanti Jr. And one of the ways I've always believed of figuring out how efficient a referee is how little you see of him.
Definitely.
And Arthur Mercanti knows he's not the show.
Definitely. He's got control of his ego, which is definitely part of it. And he knows that he's there just to control the bout when needed, not to be seen more than the fighters. He is a good referee. And he's got good background, just like a fighter needs good background. He refereed in the amateurs, he went the whole route. I remember him in the National Junior Olympic Tournament when Mike Tyson won his 2nd championship in Colorado. Arthur was one of the referees out there. And that was a long time ago.
That was the time when you were involved with Mike Tyson, correct?
That's right, that's about
that is a long time ago.
10 years. What's that mean? Avila's got him in
Slotted with the left, and Avila puts Gray down.
Put him a left hook up top, and then he finished off on the body. Gray may be a little over his head now. This guy's got the experience. Like I said, he's been in there with good 10-round fighters like Donnie Allison. He knows what to do when he's got a guy hurt. He didn't get out hustled. And now that he's got him hurt, he's got a big advantage. He's going to be calm. He's not going to be like the guys where you see him over anxious and they just throw a lot of wasted punches. He's making what he throws count. That's experience. That's what you learn from fighting. Young guy you might see over anxious, throwing a lot of punches that aren't doing anything. He's looking to place his shots.
You see Gray trying to move to that southpaw style again. He can't quite make up his mind, can he?
No, he even switches while he's punching, which makes me think he's doing it reflexively, which would probably mean that he was a converted southpaw. He's not doing it out of design. He's just doing it without thinking about it, like it was an old habit. If a guy thinks about it and does it to confuse his opponent for a deliberate reason, then you say, well, it's a design play. But it looks like it's just out of habit. Right now, he's southpaw.
And all the action coming from Avila as this third round begins to wind down. Knocked down by Avila, a very, very important factor in this round and possibly in the ultimate outcome of this 4-rounder. There's a left hand right here. Boom.
Top, then back down. But there it is. Left hook with the last one. It was a delayed knockdown, but he went back to the body, which is a sign of an experienced, good schooled fighter. Watch. Miss. One more. Right back. If he had stopped after the 1 or the 2, he wouldn't have gotten that effect. He wouldn't have dropped the guy. But by throwing the third punch, he was able to nail him and finish off what he started with the punch on top.
And doubled up with that left hand to make it all happen.
Definitely. He tripled up, actually, which is better. Why hit the guy with 2 if you can hit him with 3?
Triple's always better than a double.
Yeah. Alton Gray has to have a good round here, a big round. Because in a 4-round fight with a knockdown, it's going to be a little hard to overcome unless he's got a big round right here.
And of course, Randy Gordon, the New York State Athletic Commissioner, has been a big proponent of imploring his judges, you do not have to have 10-8 rounds with a knockdown. And normally the 10-point must system, it's been almost an automatic. 10-9, 10-9, 10-9. There, down goes Gray, but that'll be a slip.
Yeah, you know what happened? Gray's legs got too wide, almost like he was switching southpaw again by accident without thinking about it, and Avila stepped on his foot. See how he's coming forward with that right foot into a southpaw stance? Very awkward, and it's getting him out of position, getting him off balance. He's going to leave himself open to a counter, too.
It's getting him off balance, and you know, as we were saying earlier in the fight, it's also confusing Avila also. He's not getting what he expects from his opponent.
That's true. But see how he falls forward in there with his right foot? He's southpaw right now. When he does that, he's not set to punch. So Avila has a free hand to punch. Because while he's switching legs like that, there's nothing under him to be set up top to get anything off with anything significant. We talked about earlier the experience advantage of Avila and it being sometimes maybe a disadvantage by being a little too complacent in a 4-round fight. If it was a 10-round fight, it'd be different. Well, that showed a little bit in the last round when he had Gray hurt. He was calm, took his time, which was good, but then at the end, he was almost too deliberate. He should have been a little more fiery and stayed on him a little bit more. That might be the reason we're in this round, because he was too deliberate.
Good right hand there, set him up with a jab.
He's got Gray very defensive, a little bit discouraged.
There has not been much offense from Gray.
Gray is
since
switching
that knockdown, and he's just switching back and forth unconsciously almost.
Yeah, I think he's a converted southpaw, which seemed to show that.
And that's it. Alton Gray and Jose Avila finish off their 4-rounder. Which from this vantage point, Teddy, you'd have to say Alton Gray in his corner over there did not come away with a victory in this one.
No, no doubt about it. The knockdown alone is, I mean, some of the rounds were close, but the knockdown alone made a big separation.
What do you say, my good friends? Come on, let's hear it one more time.
after the knockdown, it looked like Ray just fought sort of a survival fight.
He was counting the second, wasn't he?
He wasn't thinking offense too much.
As you said, he kept changing from the right hand to the southpaw style, and it got him in trouble, and his feet kept getting in his own way.
Yeah, right there. He went forward with the right foot. He wound up getting off balance. I think he got stepped on by Avila, but he left himself in a very poor position with his footwork. He needs to work on that. You know, it could have been one of two things: subconsciously going to southpaw because it's an old habit, or it could have been frustration. He didn't know what to do to come up with a key with this guy, with Avila. He was confused, he was discouraged, and he was floundering.
Well, let's get the official decision from Ed Darian.
Ladies and gentlemen, the scoring by points as follows. Judges George DeGabriel and Steve Weisfeld each observed 40-35, while Judge Johnny Colon, he scored it 40-36. For the winner, by unanimous decision, Jose Avila.
Well, both two judges, 10-9 rounds, and one came up with a 1 round of 10-8. But no doubt about the decision, no doubt about the winner. The winner is